for the IBF world title. Catch him up. Good luck to both of you.
Are you ready? Caleb Plant. Easier said than done.
Right. He said he'll use his determination and he'll use his experience and knows that, hey, at times Caleb Plant will fade. At times. But I don't know if that's going to be early. Round one underway. Caleb Plant in the black with the fringe, and Caleb Truax in the gold and the red trunks.
Two good body shots to the by Caleb Plant.
He says he can go off the front foot, the back foot, tries with the hook there, springs in, and you can see how fast those hands are, right hand to the body as well. Well, it's a cliche, Sean, but he is a student of the game. We were talking about that with Michael Coffey. That's a good hook. He is a student of the game, and you can see the improvements.
Yeah, he very much so is a student of the game, so much that he'll know everything about his opponent. How many people live in that house, and what car that opponent drives. You know, a thinker and a student of the game. I know him personally, you know, so.
Sounds like he's like bound for a Liam Neeson flick or something.
No, like for real. Like I said that. I said, yo, he's kind of like a taking kind of guy, huh?
I don't know, CIA or something like that. You see, so he's already showed a little creativity in his arsenal. There it is again, a little jab, and then throwing that right hand, now a left hand, throws that hook into the body on Truax.
I think that's going to work to his advantage. If you rush against a guy like Caleb Plant, you're going to walk into something.
Strong combinations there from Plant, already landing 10 punches. What was so impressive about his win over DeGale was his consistency. He is very athletic, former baseball player, football player, turned boxer a little late.
And give Caleb Plant more confidence than he already has.
Just a lot of tension here. Hook doubling up on the hook. And
right here's a replay of this is a quick left hook from the outside, and that's one of Caleb's weapons right there. He's gonna find that quick hook, almost like a Roy Jones.
Normally, before you throw a hook and then you come up with that, right, Sean? That's when it can land.
Exactly.
Good right as well from Caleb Plant. Justin Gamber in the corner, Sean, I think looked like he had it kind of figured out. Like you're too fast for this guy.
Even if you only, you didn't land as much as you normally would, you give him the confidence. Hey, you are fast. They're gonna work.
He just snapped Caleb Truax's head back with that jab. That's like a classic winky right jabs. All sorts of good work early on here from Caleb Plant, and we're only in round number 2.
You corner him against the ropes like that, boom, take advantage. Those are going to be the moments for Caleb Truax.
There are no fans here, and Caleb Plant hasn't dealt with this. Again, his last fight was Nashville, his hometown.
It's funny because you got nothing but your corner telling you that you're doing things right. You got nothing. When you land a good punch, it's all up to you to recognize that punch that you landed. There's no crowd to give you anything.
Right. It's funny. We've called so many fights, Sean, including yours back in August, where there's a big topic of conversation. He hasn't. When they went to the corner, I thought, wow, it's quiet. Yeah, he must have felt that too.
You were here when I fought, right?
Back and forth. The COVID regulations.
You see all the thumbs up going up and everything. I don't know how you're doing this.
The second round, but a good repertoire being shown by Plant in this fight.
Absolutely, and he as well being very patient through the course of now 2 rounds.
Plant outlanding Truax by a wide margin, even though Truax able to block some of these shots. Final seconds. Good work by the champ. Round number 3, IBF Super Middleweight Championship. Caleb Plant, Caleb Truax. Trunks right there, outlanding Truax 31-7. Truax, again, the big opportunity here. He's still ranked in the top 10 in the Ring Magazine ratings, ESPN rankings. And has held this title 3 years ago. June of early 2020, got a majority decision against a 41-year-old opponent. This, a big shot out of nowhere, doing this on name value, who, Sean, as I mentioned, seems to be peaking. I mean, look at him doubling up, tripling up on that jab.
He's a very mentally focused fighter, and very, very hard to find guys like that going. And you need so much when you're going up against a guy like Caleb Plant. I'm hoping that Caleb Truax will flip a switch and start,
He's going to have to do something here. And Sean, you bring up a point as I'm looking at Plant, and there's a little hook to the body and then to the head and a right hand to the body as well. Always thinking and always menacing, even when he's not throwing.
You're true. That's very true. And then even right there, how can you be this close to Caleb Plant?
Here, as we're watching live action on the right, but you'll see Plant able to land and really just snapping jab, doubling up, and then that was a quick right hand too.
Hands. I'm not crazy about the nickname, but he really has great hands
And we joked about Jerry Cantu, if you were watching earlier, and Jerry Cantu said, you know, listen to my commands. He took 2 points away from a fighter for an illegal shot earlier. He will take control, although he's been, so far, been able to slide out of the action so far in the main event. But, you know, what I'm saying is, when he says, listen to my commands now, I'm a little more apt to listen.
Yeah,
Jerry, I hear you.
Absolutely.
Take it easy. There's round 3.
Shows up in the fight. It shows up in the fight.
In round 4, Caleb Plant, Caleb Truax, Brian Kenny, and Sean Porter with you here in Los Angeles. And he needs to look good in every single fight.
Yeah, that's something you don't really see too often. Guys have a tendency to throw one. Start using your jab. I like the way he came out this 4th round using the jab.
He goes, but I'll need to be at my best to beat him, but I have more experience. And he said, look, he's had an easier road than I had. Look, and you know, Plant doesn't have the type of resume that you had with guys. He seems very fresh, still very new. I don't know if Truax is going to be able to take advantage of that, but it is true. He's fought the much better fighters than Plant has.
I go back just a little bit. He's got a strong jab from the outside. He's got a snapping jab from the outside. Left uppercut that goes right to the head, not to the body. Then he'll go to the body. I mean, he's just got so much coming at one time that it's hard to keep up with. 11, 12, that's when your experience will show up. But then by then, are you strong enough to do everything that you've done in the past? I got a feeling that to that point, he'll be broken down by then.
Caleb Plant has already started to lay the wood to Truax here. He's just landing those shots a little harder.
He doesn't just come out and have one speed and one tempo. I think I do that. I kind of have one speed and one tempo through the course of a fight. And if I can't keep up, then and everything that he does, and it's like he gets stronger as the fight continues. And look at him start to hit stronger as he goes.
You know, and Sean, he just finished a combination with a jab. Those shots, he is doubling up, tripling up on jabs.
What we expected from this fight and also from Caleb. We expected him to be too fast for Caleb Truax. Caleb,
an uppercut by
very good uppercut right there.
Yeah, maybe a chance and something to build on.
Here we go. This is the uppercut I was talking about. It's not exactly an uppercut. It's like I don't know what to call it. I actually call it a funny jab, but it's a punch that goes right to the chin. And then right here, combinations, finishing with the jab, the trailing punch. More of that when we come back.
But at the end of the round, here's his moment, Sean. Look at the shot.
Yeah, this is your moment. Let your hands go. You can't be afraid to work right there.
That was in the final seconds of that round. Not much to build on there. And something that could enable Truax to build a little bit of confidence as we're in round number 5 and it's been all Caleb Plant.
Should have known that, hey, if we're going to catch this guy, we got to catch him where he can't move. And
it's been all Caleb Plant as of yet, at least by the way we're seeing it. Let's go to Marcos Villegas and see how he's scoring this fight. Marcos, what do you have?
No, definitely agree with you, Brian. It's been all Caleb Plant at this point, 4 rounds to 0. He's just too quick at this point for Caleb Truax. He really needs to try to cut the ring off and go ahead and let his hands go at that point. But you see Caleb, he's moving in and out. It's making it really difficult for him to score punches.
Didn't expect it here. Good digging and body shot there by Plant. It's like a hybrid.
Because that punch, yeah, it's a hybrid punch. It's like half uppercut and half jab, and we just called it simply a funny jab. But they got another name for it. I'll figure it out and bring it up.
It's like a 45-degree hook or something. It's a hook. It's an uppercut, and watch here. And that's nice head movement from Plant, kind of underrated.
And like I said, if you got good feet, you can step over when he goes to spin out, pivot out like that, and confident and let your hands go.
And Sean, you brought it up last round. I didn't have a chance because the action picked up. He has different speeds and goes through every gear. You have 1 gear, but if you're gonna have 1 gear, make it 6th gear.
I got 1 gear. It's not a bad gear to have at all.
Gear, yeah. All Caleb Plant so far, but Caleb Truax again given a professional workman-like effort. You'll need to change the equation here. Final 10 seconds now of this round. Tries with the right hand to the body. And so far that jab.
I mean, he's done a combination of all of it, especially through the course of 6 rounds. Effective, but hey, try to get to that body like he just did right there and break down Caleb Truax.
And then the right hand to the head, punctuate. You can see the eyes now closing on Truax more and more. You see the punches landed.
You know what? I don't think he necessarily needs it against Caleb Truax. And I thought when I fought Formella, I don't think that's something that Caleb Plant necessarily needs. The straight rights to the body, I'm starting to see him focus on the body a little bit more, and I like to see that.
I'd like to see that for 3 minutes every round.
And I went back and looked at the fight, and I heard you mentioned that you liked me on my toes.
Just joining us, how often a fighter will look back and frequently be surprised. Fighters don't want to look back right away. Yeah, more blood now pouring from the face of Caleb Truax, getting beaten down. Just all these shots, the accumulation of punishment as we're in the final minute.
And here's another thing I like about Caleb Plant. He'll throw a straight right, lead right hand, and not get touched, even though he did something that wasn't necessarily correct. And that's something that not many guys can do. List those guys on one hand.
Lead hook there landed, just flush, and now the blood starts to flow a little bit more. That was a hard shot as well. It's a good point, Sean. What, a right hand to the body again. So many different dimensions, continuous hard shots, blood flies from Caleb Truax, 37 years old, and the champ doing a number on him.
It should have started. That should have started, in round 1 or round 2. That's what I always say, and I don't think that was ever established by Caleb Truax.
Caleb Truax, again, a good athlete, star outfielder in high school. Again, came to boxing a little bit late, but he's been in there with the top fighters in the world. But tonight, against a completely different animal, just a very motivated Caleb Plant. He says he wants the knockout, and he still may get it, but he'll get it his way.
It's interesting because you break down a fighter, and then it's much, you're gunning for the head, and you're not getting it, but you never took the time. And now you're looking at rounds 11 or 12, and you won't get the knockout at all. So
right, and you can see, Sean, too, that hook just landed and had a bad effect on Truax, whereas before it didn't seem to phase.
What Caleb Truax has got, I saw speed right there.
Let his hands go, right? Even if it's not thrown hard.
Yeah, let your hands go. Give Plant something to think about. You've been thinking all night.
2 hard jabs coming from Caleb Plant, though. That coming out like a stick.
Feint.
Hard from Plant. Another snapping jab.
But then nothing from the hands. And even Truax said, hey, man, I got experience. So we talked about this a little bit ago. You round 7 should start to show up.
Mental intensity, though, from Caleb Plant is a significant factor. Good hard jab just stops Truax in his tracks. And Truax tries to get close. Hard jab from Caleb Plant all night long. Steady diet of jabs from Caleb Plant that's keeping him off balance, Sean.
Twitter's trying to tell me what kind of jab he's throwing. I know exactly what kind of jab he's throwing. It's very hard to see a jab that comes from the waist, and we call that an up jab. For the most part, he is using the up jab. It comes from the waist, and it's hard to time, and it's hard to see, it's flicking. The other jab that I really like is the one that turns over.
And there's the jabs landed totals according to CompuBox, 32-13. Right hand from Truax. IBF title on the line. And watch on the left part of your screen here, we'll see Caleb Truax able to get in here and land that. Wow, that's right off the chin. Yeah. It's in a dangerous spot, even with a beard.
And he took it. We talk about experience and what that really means. A guy in Caleb Plant, you got 20 fights, 21 fights now, and you haven't gone this distant. Are you going to let off of the gas? Are you going to stay focused? Are you going to make the necessary moves that it takes to stay safe?
You said, hey, at times, maybe I'll have an opportunity. Good hook there from Plant. Oh, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Whoa, another right hand lands by Truax. Take punishment, and he's still landing a shot now and then.
Absolutely, and I've been waiting on this for him to hit a switch practically since the fight began. A fighter with experience, that switch may not be hit until...
While you're watching things live on the right, watch on the left here, and there's an example of that hook. But then the right hand bouncing right off Plant's head. So Truax able to have his moments. Look at that. Plant nails him with a short right hand there. And then he has such varied shots.
You go. Yeah, there you go. He does carry his left hand low.
Oh, another right hand as Truax went in. Hard body shots land on Truax as he starts to cover up.
Truax reset right there. Fire right there when he's not ready. Fire on the reset.
So Plant cannot get sloppy. Good jab up the middle from Plant as well. Covering a bunch of fights where Buddy McGirt was the trainer, and he said that's the one thing he tries to teach. He said, you think, oh, I've got to get this guy, I got to establish something. 12 rounds, 10 rounds, there's time.
I didn't tell myself when I was 20-0. No, it's not just a matter of the first half of the fight or even the second half of the fight.
There's that hybrid hook uppercut from Plant right there, that lands. Truax, another good shot to make a statement. Good counter right by Plant.
You're still going to be able to land the jab at will, punch that Caleb Truax just cannot defend. I think he's taken enough off, or excuse me, broken him down enough.
You see the face of Caleb Truax here, just all marked up, busted up.
There it
is, a right hand by Truax. You have to have the landing device, right? And Truax was able to get his feet in position to throw and land. Round 10 scheduled for 12. Again, Caleb Plant, Caleb Truax, Brian Kenny and Sean Porter with Marcos Villegas taking his time. He's outlanded Caleb Truax by a wide margin, which needs to up the ante and press the action. Good hard hook. He threw a good hook to the body there, but I tell you what, Plant has already landed like 4 or 5 good hard shots.
But I expect him to. I expect Caleb Plant to start to sit down and dig into those shots. Those were good punches that he landed.
Plant able to roll with that and get out.
There you go.
And so right around that time, if Plant having done all that work,
he's got to find that moment now, Caleb Plant, where he's going to really sit down, like you said, and dig in. Now it's time to sit down like he's doing right here, and into the head.
That's what he did there with the uppercut to the body, then came up with the hook. Yeah, Canelo Alvarez was able to rupture the bicep.
Just thinking to myself, you know, Caleb Truax looks like he's still got a lot in the tank.
You have to be very strong to be able to do that. Final seconds, round number 10. Caleb Truax backing up the champ.
That's always going to be the last thing to go with him.
Again, you see the punches landed at 143 to 33. Look, not all landed punches are equal. Plant has been able to sit on his punches and land hard shots on Truax's. Occasional good right hand has come from Caleb Truax.
I can't find a reason to give Truax a round. He's just not landing enough. He'll land 1 and Caleb will land 3 with that jab and just varying his attack as well.
It's through the course of the round, but it wasn't enough. Again, you're 3 to Caleb Plant, you know what that equals. However, I can't see that Caleb Truax, he wants to land it overhand right.
Caleb Plant, a 3-punch combination. His work rate for his jab has been outstanding. 1 minute left to go in round number 11. There it is again, beautiful jab snapping the head back of Caleb Truax. Blood flowing from Truax again. When the jab is consistently stopping you, and in this case, snapping your head back.
Once you right there, but there's no jab. When he catches Caleb Plant in the moment where he's not throwing.
And after he got caught with a shot, but then landed a hard uppercut. So
we train the music. The reason for that is rhythm. You know, there's a rhythm to the fight. There's a rhythm to our.
Round 12, final round here for the super middleweight title. Truax knows he needs a knockout, but Caleb Plant's corner, they want that stoppage.
This is what we do.
Trying to move in, you can see, trying to get close enough. Trying to land the Susie Q, trying to get that right hand close enough he can throw that and detonate on Plant's head. Drives Truax back.
Yeah, you got a guy, his offense is now his defense. Caleb Truax from landing overhand right.
You can see, and that's why I mentioned it's a very different fighter than, say, Callum Smith, in that he is big at this weight. Good hard shot. You can see the width of his shoulders, hard shot. Caleb Truax will have to do more, trying to get closer. Caleb Plant has been able to drive him back all night with that jab. Now Plant goes to work. He landed that hook and a right hand. Fast with the hands. Truax still trying. He has likely not won a single round. He will need the knockout for a win. Well aware of that. Final 30 seconds of the fight.
Here's the thing. Here's the learning lesson. You get to this point in the fight. You control everything. You make adjustments based on the moments in the fight where done more. And I expect Caleb Plant to do that moving forward.
Final 10 seconds. Hook drives Truax back. Commanding performance by Caleb Plant.
We have a unanimous decision in favor of the winner and still champion Sweet Hands, Caleb Plant.